Shop talk, shy it, shutty up, day, up, shop tie, shutty up, shop talk.
What's going on, good people? It is your man, D-Toe. It is another day's journey, and I am super duper glad about it. Want to welcome everybody. To Shop Talk, everyone's favorite show right here on everyone's favorite network. You know what it is, children. It is the Shop Talk family of networks. Those of you who may be watching us live on Facebook, or if you're watching us live on YouTube, we want to say welcome to today's show. We've got a lot of stuff to go through and discuss today. It's going to be a great show. Also want to take a moment to welcome all of our friends and constituents from our radio partners from around the country. We talk about it all the time, but I can't thank our partners enough, those radio station owners, those program directors that have allowed Shop Talk to be a part of the network, as well as be into the ears of their valued listeners. We want to take a moment just to say thank you. Today's show is going to be absolutely amazing. Now, before we do anything, you know what you got to do. You got to get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Periscope, Marco Polo. But you know who you got to tell. You know it. You got to tell your mama them, Ray, Shay, Day, Delicious them, Nuck them, Pojo them. Let them all know that we are live right here, right now on the Shop Talk family of networks. My name is Demetrius Tollfree. How do you know? Because it says so right there. You can see that I am hanging out with you. And again, you can follow me everywhere on social media at DTollfree, at DTOLEFREE. That's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter, X, if you use it. It's on YouTube as well, and so many other platforms. We would love to have you follow us. And people tell me all the time, man, you do social media wrong. It is what it is. I tell people all the time, you follow me, I'll follow you back. We'll get a chance to communicate and make things happen just like that. Oh, I didn't know I had a rhyme in me. Follow me, I'll follow you back. We'll get together just like the D-Toe. Got rhymes, right? Got rhymes today. It is all to the good. All right, y'all, as we get ready to make things happen, early morning shout out to the homie Andrea Clark. Andrea from Lathrop, California, my neighbor from down the street and around the corner, is in the building. Glad to have you hanging out. Andrea, we didn't finish our conversation, so there I'm calling you out live on the air. We didn't finish our conversation. Hit me back and let me know what you are thinking. All right, y'all, without further ado, it's time for us to get things going, and let's get ready to bring up our first co-host out in Hercules of California, in a different G14 classified location, not her normal habitat, but today she is back with us after a small hiatus, and we are glad to have her hanging out with us. And that is my homie, the world traveled, needs no introduction. Let's bring it up without further ado, Ashlyn Tara. Oh, Ashlyn, girl, what is going on?
What's going on, brother? I'm just chilling in another location. Do I have an echo?
No, you don't have an
I had a little echo. I don't. Okay, good. This is my normal.
Yeah, now I will say your signal isn't the best today.
Okay.
Your signal isn't the best as of yet, but we'll figure it out and make it work as we go. But I'm glad to have you hanging out. I know you've been missed a week or two, but welcome back. Welcome back to California. Your
Thank
G14
you.
classified location. We are glad to have you hanging out with us. Speaking of hanging out, normally when I get ready to move on, I would move up the street around the corner into the cul-de-sac, knock on the door, but he's not in that location today. I tell you what, before we bring him up, shout out to the Western Media Group, who is hanging out with us on YouTube. That I know is my friend Karen Weston from Baton Rouge. She is in the building. Shout out to my guy, Pastor Nathaniel Riley, also in the building. Glad to have him hanging out as well. As I was mentioning, normally, Ashton, we would just go around a couple of streets and knock on the door, tap on the window pane there in Hercules. But today, he has taken a flight. He's gone rogue. He has gone all the way to Atlanta of Georgia, and he is in the building with us today. Let's bring him up without further ado. My guy, Ja'Cory Prothro. Ja'Cory, man, what is going on?
Nothing much. How is everyone?
All
Look,
is
I
well.
got me a nice little mirror and stuff. That's real cute in a corner somewhere. Hi, yeah.
Watch it. I see you, man. Looks like you might be ready for today's show, and that is good. Now, Ashton, I see you're trying to plug in your other camera. I'll give you a moment. We'll bring you back. So go ahead and plug in your camera like you're trying to do. She's trying to be incognito, but I just kind of threw her out. We'll give her a moment. So go ahead, Ashton, and do what you need to do to set your camera up. Shout out to the homie, the doctor, Maggie Wincher in the building. What is going on? Glad to have you hanging out as well. All right. I think Ashlyn may be ready. Ashlyn, are you good? All right. We got her back. It's all good. Now, as we get ready to go into today's show, we got a lot of stuff to cover, and we're going to try to knock out as much of it as we can. First thing I want to mention, out of our normal order, but today I want to mention we're just a few days away from the month of December. And here in the Bay Area, this is going to be a December to remember. In particular, starting on Saturday, December the 6th, in Oakland, California, Jacory and so many others will be hanging out at the Paramount Theater at 7 p.m. for the holiday concert Hope in Harmony with the Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir, Terrence Kelly, and so many more. Jacory, I know that you'll be a part of this, man. So tell us what's planned for this particular day.
Actually, I don't fully know, but I did just get a memo that I may be the MC for the evening. So,
Okay, okay.
if you're in the surrounding Bay Area, come on in there and let's just, it's time to celebrate. It's a lot going on in the news, in the world. So we just getting together to, celebrate Jesus and that we're still here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that is on Saturday, December the 6th, Saturday, December the 6th. That is in Oakland, California. Tickets are available. You can scan the QR code that you see, or simply go to oicc.org/tickets, and you'll be able to get those tickets. Tickets are as low as $15. And of course, if you want to be VIP, they are $100 to make that happen. That is on Saturday. The very next day, which is Sunday, December the 7th, in Oakland, California. I, along with many others, will be joining my friend, my bro, Reggie Murray, as he does a Night of Hope concert there at the Good Samaritan Cathedral Church of God in Christ. Free event on that particular day. So you can definitely come out and hang out with us that night. It'll be absolutely good. All right, y'all. We'll talk about more events as the show goes on. But shout out to Maggie Winter, who's asking OICC. Well, that's what the link said, Maggie. I know OICC is your choir from back in the day, but let me put that back. It said that's what it says. OICC.org/tickets. Anyway, I'm not going to get involved with that. Anyway, shout out to David McKinney, who is in the building. Also, shout out to my namesake, my bro, Pastor Demetrius Edwards, who is also in the building. And glad to have you hanging out with us as well today. All right, as we get ready to make things happen, and of course, we'll keep everybody abreast of everything that's going on. Welcome back, Jacory. Let's get things going. And in doing so, let's talk about today's National Day. Today in history. Today in history is what I want to do first. I got two. Today in history, we have two. In 1965, none of us was here yet. 1965, Kellogg, the company Kellogg, creates Pop Tarts. 1965, Kellogg creates the incredibly known, widely eaten Pop Tarts. So that was in 1965 on this day. And last but not least, in 1985, many of you still may not be old enough to know about this, but Pennzoil, which is a major oil company, they won a $10 billion judgment against Texaco. All right, Pennzoil and Texaco, they used to both do all of the NASCAR racing. And I guess there was a lawsuit between the two of them. And Pennzoil got $10 billion, not with an M, with a B, $10 billion that they were able to get from Texaco in a particular thing and that they made happen. So shout out to them. Keeping things going. Today, National Day. Three things very quickly. One that I don't know much about, and that is today is National Play Monopoly Day. I've never really been one to play Monopoly, but today is National Play Monopoly Day. So those of you who might play Monopoly are familiar with it. Today might be the day to bring out the old school board game and make things happen. All right. Ask you trying to get my attention? Do you play?
No, I do play. I love Monopoly. I love
I'm new to it.
monopolizing on Monopoly. I love monopolizing. Yes, absolutely. Park Place, Boardwalk, all that. Everybody trying to get to the blue.
Yeah,
You get around, you go through the whole rainbow. Everybody trying to get to the blue. So
yeah.
yes, I enjoy it. I haven't played it in a long time, but it won't be today. Amen. But thank you for mentioning.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Secondly, in terms of what today is National Carbonated Beverage with Caffeine Day. So, like a 7-Up, like a Coke, like a Dr. Pepper, or whatever it may be. So if that is your jam as well, today might be your day to do that also. Anyway, aside from that, lastly, today is, I like this one, National Education Support Professionals Day. So those who are in the educational field, particularly you may not be the teacher, but you might be the one that's supporting the teacher or assisting the teacher. Today is your day. So if you know somebody in the education field and that's what they do, give them a shout out, give them a call, say, hey, we thank you for what you do. We appreciate you helping get our children on the right road. All right, y'all. Let's keep on moving. Last but not least, in terms of these type of segments, is birthdays, and I only have 4 birthdays. Today is rapper extraordinaire, if you want to call him that, Tigger. Today is his 36th birthday. I know y'all looking like who? Y'all know. Tigger. Today is his 36th birthday. Also, many of you may know Erica Alexander. She turns 56 today. Erica Alexander was in the Living Single. She was in Living Single. She was the one she played in Living Single. She was one of the chicks in Living Single. I can't think.
Max, right?
No, is it Max? You might be right. You might. I think she played Max. You might be right. I can't remember her exact name, but today is her birthday. Also, singer, rapper, Little Mo. Today is her 47th birthday. So shout out to Little Mo. And last but not least, I saved this person for last because those of us who are in fashion, if you grew up in the 80s and potentially in the 90s, you would know that initially there was only 2 kinds of jeans that everyone wanted to wear. You either wore Jordache or you wore jeans from today's other birthday, and that is Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein, today is his 83rd birthday, and we definitely want to take a moment to shout him out and to say happy birthday. So, if you have a birthday during this time, during this season, during this week, you know how we do it. Ashlyn, this is when we throw it out to you to encourage someone who's having a birthday during this time.
Absolutely. Birthdays are meant to be celebrated. So take a minute. I see Allegra, your wife, says Uncle Wayne's birthday is today. So we definitely want to shout out Uncle Wayne. But look, take a minute just to celebrate because, if you've been watching this show for a long time, this may sound like repetitive, but I really want you to get it. God made you. God created you. He set it up so that you could be born on this day. And so when you celebrate your birthday, you're celebrating the birth giver, which you might say, oh, that's my mom and daddy. Well, actually, it was God who created you. He knew you in your womb. He knew you before your mother knew you. So take a minute today and just say, thank God for my life, my health, my strength. God, thank you for the purpose that you've given me today. And celebrate your birthday. So if nobody tells you today, just hear it from us, from Freedom Radio, Shop Talk, all of our affiliates. Happy birthday.
Absolutely. Good stuff. And yes, Allegra, she is right. We was talking about this just last night. Her last living uncle on her mother's side, I think it was probably 7 to 8 of them that she's had, her mother's siblings. All of them have passed except for one, and that is her Uncle Wayne Valentine, who is living here in California, originally from Darrow, Louisiana, but now he abides here in California in the Benicia area. And Uncle Wayne, we want to wish you, man, a happy birthday on this day. All right, y'all, let's keep things going. Let's get ready to bring up our next co-host. I haven't seemed like I haven't been on the show in so long. I was here last week, but I forgot to mention that every time we get ready to bring somebody up, that we have a ring at the door. I forgot, Ashton. I apologize. You didn't get your knock at the door,
That's
and
okay. Come and knock on my door.
yeah, it still sounds like Three's Company. But anyway, let's reach out or retch out, depending on where you're from, to the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, to bring up my homie and yours, the incredibly talented Yolanda Wild Praise Morant. Yolanda, girl, what's
Hey,
on? Welcome to today's show.
hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Hope everybody's good.
All is well. Thank you for asking, and appreciate you being here with us today. And
Mm-hmm.
today's going to be a good show. So, without further ado, y'all, let's get things going. Let's make things happen. If you haven't done so as of yet, couple things I want to mention. Couple things I want to mention that are important. One, that is, if you haven't as of yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please, ma'am, please, sir, make sure you take a moment to do that. Simply, all you have to do, I'll make it easier for you. All you have to do is scan the QR code up in the corner of the screen. It will take you directly to our YouTube page, and you can subscribe. You can always watch us on YouTube. You know, sometimes Facebook has a mind of its own, but YouTube seems to always be stable. So you can like us, and you can subscribe to the channel, and you can click that little bell so that you can be notified every time we go live. So make sure that you do that. It will be good for you to do that. So make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Secondly, I want to mention that, and I know we're going to be making some more adjustments to this, but I want to mention that we have this incredible Freedom Faves playlist that that Yolanda has been feverishly working on. And you can also still simply go to, you can just scan the other QR code. I'm going to put it up there. And you can be able to scan that QR code. I know it's covering me, but it don't matter. Listen, you can just simply scan that QR code again and be able to get the Freedom Faves playlist. It is a playlist chock full of incredible music from people from around the country. Some that you may be familiar with, of course, myself and Jacory and Ashlyn are in the playlist. But there's some other great music that Yolanda has put in there that you may not be familiar with, that she might be opening the door to a great relationship with some artists from around the country. Real artists, not AI type stuff. Real people who've taken time to go in the studio, write songs, sing the song, produce the song, do all those type of great things. So do yourself a favor, scan that QR code, and you'll be able to get the Freedom Faves playlist on your devices. All right, y'all, let's keep things going. And in doing so, I want to mention a couple things. Those of us here in the Bay Area, yesterday, Lord have mercy, was a crazy day in the Bay Area, especially for those that travel from the Bay to the Valley, if you want to call it that, and use the Altamont. The Altamont Pass here in the Bay Area, there was a overturned truck carrying gas and all type of stuff that turned over yesterday in the Altamont. Traffic was messed up for hours. I mean, the accident happened at 1 o'clock p.m. At 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock p.m. last night, people were still struggling trying to get home. So I am hoping that all of you who that might have affected on yesterday, that you got a chance to get home. My daughter, who works in the Bay and then of course travels home, it had an effect on her. She ended up having to get a hotel room so she could be at work on time today. And thank God she was able to do so. Her mother is there with her, and her other sister came to be there with her. You know, family, we do that kind of stuff. If one of us in need, man, we all in need. So I just want to just shout out all those people who might have been affected by that, and to hope that you got home safe and that today is a better day than yesterday. Last but not least, in terms of Bay Area news, I don't always do it this way, but those of us, many people have seen this. Has been on the news. It has been everywhere. That the football coach from Laney College, the incredible John Beam, was shot last week there on the campus of Laney, and the next day succumbed to his injuries. John Beam, before he went to Laney, before he was the Skyline coach, he was my coach at Frick Junior High in Oakland, California. He was our coach for both football and basketball, and incredible, incredible guy. He was hard on us, but an incredible guy nonetheless. John Beam, who an entire I think it was Netflix show or documentary was done on him because of how he turned so many football players' lives around, heinous crime was done to him. He was shot last week. I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday on the campus of Laney. And again, the next day he did pass. So our thoughts and prayers are with the family of my friend, John Beam, the coach of the Laney football team, again, formerly of Skyline, formerly of Frick. He had an indelible impression on so many people, and our thoughts and prayers are with him. Ashlyn.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that thank you so much for just mentioning him. He was on Last Chance U. That was the special that's how I got to know him, but I didn't realize what an indelible mark he had left on the community. So some of the details that are coming in about his shooting, I just wanted to keep our listeners informed about this. Just the day before the shooting, he had had a meeting and had called for higher levels of security on the Laney campus, and particularly, specifically in the location where he was shot. And so that is just heartbreaking because he knew something, and there had been some incidences, some theft that had happened on the campus, and so that was really tough to find that out. And they have made an arrest and charged someone with the shooting, with his murder. And apparently he thought that Coach Beam had put witchcraft on him, and that's why he came on campus and did that. And so I don't know any more details other than that. I'm sure things will unfold, but ultimately we want to definitely keep the thoughts and prayers for all the families and all the students, all the athletes that have been affected by this man. Gone too soon, but never, never forgotten.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe if my memory serves me right, I think he was 66 or 67, somewhere around in there. But yes, you are right about the documentary that was done on him. Again, so many people. Normally, Pancho, who would be sitting over my shoulder, he was Pancho's football coach at Skyline High School back in the 80s. Right after he left me at Frick, he moved to Skyline. That's when Pancho ran across him, and so many others. Even people who listen to our show, Pastor Damon Owens from Antioch. I know, Ja'Cory, you're familiar with that ministry. He was his football coach, and so many others, so many great people in the Bay Area. One of my friends, Martin Lawson, who pastors a church in the Bay Area as well. We've talked about John Beam over the years, and so many of our other teachers. But yeah, he would definitely be missed. He is one that, without a doubt, made an indelible impression upon many, and certainly our thoughts and prayers are with he and his family. Shout out to Dee Felder in the building. What is going on? Glad to have you hanging out. Shout out to David Jones in the building as well. And I didn't get a chance to mention my homie Andrea Scruggs, who was telling me about that the girl's name was Max on the in living, not in living color, but y'all know what I was talking about earlier. Anyway, thank y'all for all hanging out with us. Yeah, I'm having one of them days. I'm having a senior moment day. Anyway,
Living single.
single. We are living, yeah, single. Yeah, that particular show. That's the one. Anyway, listen, we're going to keep things going, and in doing so, uh, Chicago, the city,
yeah, yeah.
the city of Chicago is in the news. Ja'Cory, no place seems to be safe anymore. Now, I don't know every detail of this story. Shout out to my guy, Paul Cooley, in the building. What's going on, bro? Uh, but in Chicago, I've seen bits and pieces of the story on Instagram, some of the things that you sent as well. So from what I can gather, you can tell me if I'm wrong, and you can actually take over from here. But what I'm gathering, some young folks took it upon themselves to lay hands, not in the name of Jesus, on a older woman and her children in the city of Chicago. Now, I know that the Chicago is known for the Chicago Bulls. I didn't think it was for the Chicago Bullies. But Ja'Cory, man, tell us about this whole story and what seems to be going on.
I honestly think Yo would be better at this particular story, but if you have not seen the clips, you might have to watch the clips in segments because it is so devastating to see that little kids, they don't there's no respect for elders or parenting in schools, period. But Yo, you take over.
And you're muted.
Sorry, I don't know why y'all think I know all the tea because I really be trying to mind my own business, as the William brother said. Okay, so from what I understand happened, there were a group of kids who have been known in the area of Chicago who have been known to bully people. This is like not the first incident from things I've read. And so they confronted this. She's in her mid 30s, let's say early mid 30s, mother and her two children, a boy and a girl. The video is, of course, it is pretty concerning, and they commenced to, aggravating, and the aggravating progressed. Thank you, Lord. The aggravating, it progressed, and eventually they ended up throwing her on the ground and jumping her. And
Wow.
that's like back in the day in high school, people got jumped. So,
Well, let me ask you, Yolanda, and I don't mean to cut you off, but something seems to be going on with your audio. I know you have your mic connected, but if you change your audio to reflect,
oh, okay. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Okay. So what happened was there was a group of children who have been known. I want to be clear about this part. This is not from what I saw. Some people, I don't know the people, anything like that. I'm a social media girl. I saw it on socials and on social media, and but they have been known to aggravate, bully people. And so what started as a little bit of aggravating turned into a full mob, and they jumped the mother. This is what's crazy. They jumped
Right.
the mother, and I saw something earlier right before I came online. She's actually pregnant,
And
Mm.
has
and so
lupus.
yeah, she's pregnant. They jumped her. They pushed her on the ground. She was trying to, as a mother bear would, she was trying to protect her children. Ooh, okay, almost cried. So she was trying to protect her children. They threw her on the ground and they commenced to beating her up.
Stumped her, took her hair
Yeah,
out.
it was
It
took
was
her out. She ended up in the hospital. She has several injuries. It's a real thing. But shout out to Chicago. First, shout out to Algin. That's how I originally saw this story. And so shout out to Algin who gave us the original story and then gave us the update how Chicago has shown up. And I want to say this because a lot of times we see a lot of negative, and people say, there really is more good than bad. And so Chicago showed up. They were able, through the donation, to get her, from what I understand, a new house, a new car. They've relocated the kids, which I think is brilliant. They relocated the kids to a totally different school. And then I saw something where the mother of one of the children came online. She admitted that what her daughter did was not okay. And she said that we are taking care of this. And I think that's brilliant, because sometimes people like, don't mess with my kids. But she's like, no, this is not okay. But the daughter was so messed up, like realizing, what she had done. So that's kind
Yeah,
of the most of it, I guess you could
that's
say.
crazy. Now I have seen some other stories since then, and I think Jacory sent this to us. Was that the same? Is this the same story where the mother went live talking about everybody's looking for you and all this kind of stuff? Is that this?
so
Oh, I didn't see that part.
there is a swab of children. It was not just like two or three
Oh
children.
yeah, it
They
wasn't at
stumped.
all.
When you watch the videos of this, it is just like, what the hell, excuse me, is going on? It really is. It's like watching a movie that you ain't never seen. But a lot of the parents of the children are coming out with videos saying, I'm sorry. At this point, sorry ain't enough, boo. Because my thing is, if it was my child, every time I thought about it, I'd be beating their tail.
Mm,
Because the
Okay.
thing is, my thing is, back in the day when I was away from my mother, you was gonna do a little more when your mother wasn't looking, but you was only gonna go so far. Back in the day when we were young and we was like, oh, we want to try some cuss words. We would try them, but as soon as you saw an adult figure,
Oh
you would
yeah.
mute yourself.
Oh yeah.
But we're living in the day now to where I think the enemy is just on a rampage when it comes to education and just a higher learning. So I don't. I'm just waiting to see how this totally unfolds. Because at the end of the day, what are you going to do about the children? If you have not seen this video, you need to check it out.
Yeah, it's
wow.
it's pretty concerning. And again, I always say this, y'all know, I grew up with a country mama. And let me just say this. I grew up with the mother. Anybody who's going to be offended, I apologize in advance, okay? I grew up with the mother who grew up in the South. And so I grew up with the mother whose mother, my grandmother, what part I'm going to tell y'all. My grandmother, I grew up in a, country. I want to be clear. My mom was a country girl. And so I grew up when I was younger. She said, "Go get something off the tree." Now I know we've grown and we say we don't do the. But my mama didn't play that. She threw a phone book at my brother one time. It sounded like a boomerang. Some of y'all know what that is. And so all I heard was. And so I just grew up with a mother who didn't play those games. But I also grew up where my mother went to school and said, if you have any problems with my daughter, you be sure to call me. And the lady in the office who was a black woman said, oh, you don't worry. Don't worry. I'm sure we won't have no problems out of Yolanda. And they did not have a problem. So I say that because I think some of those things have been removed. I remember one time my mom said, call the police. Go ahead. And my little brother called with his genius self. And the police came. And they
We've
said,
done
so,
that.
ma'am, we have a problem. She said, oh, no, my son was acting out. The police said, yes, ma'am, and walked out. My point is that children now there's some kind of separation where there's lack of respect. I'm not
No
saying
fear.
I'm not saying, how can I say this? I'm not saying spank your children into oblivion. Okay, I do think there has to be some level of balance and control, but at the same time, I'm just saying for me, it wouldn't have got that far because the first person I would have been scared of, not God actually, was my mama who would have came and regulated the whole thing. I would have been cleaning y'all houses, plus the spanking, plus the neighborhood. She would have went, child, y'all wouldn't have ever met me. Malak would have taken me out of here.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm with you. I have that
Wow.
same upbringing. My mother's from
Wow.
Arkansas, and so is my father. And yeah, I have that same upbringing. I could tell y'all some stories where you would think it was child abuse if I told you. But yeah,
Oh, but I'm thankful. Oh, I'm
yeah,
thankful.
Oh, but it
absolutely.
gave me a lot of
I've never been in jail. Let me tell you something. I tell
jail.
this testimony from time to time. People just find me they're astonished by this. But because of my upbringing, I've never been to jail. I've never smoked. I've never drank in my entire life. I'm 55 years old now. I've never done any of these things. And it's not because it's bad for your health. I know it is, but I had a mother and a father that had they found out, similar to what Yolanda was saying, I would not be here to have the same testimony. So, yeah, so I grew up with a different upbringing, and the mere fact that these things, my whole problem is social media. That mother who was saying that the whole city's looking for the kind of stuff, and putting all these apologies on that's not what social media is for.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time when they need to be training their children. It doesn't need to have a public audience for viewing for you to be able to properly train your children in this instance. It's not about getting likes. It's not about getting views. It's about training your children
Mm-hmm.
for what will happen next week or the week after that, and all these different things. Now, so hopefully
Yeah.
parents get a hold of this. Ashton, I know you're trying to get my attention. Go right ahead.
Yeah, let me just add this one thing because obviously, I couldn't even watch the whole video of this incident because it literally is heart wrenching. And this mother and her babies were just minding their business, walking past this area. But the piece that really is disturbing to me is that there's somebody that's filming this. There's somebody that picks up their camera and they are filming it, and they film it way in advance. So to me, it's like, and I could be wrong, but what it's giving is, let's see what we can do for likes. Let's see if we can go viral. Let's see if we can, do something to get somebody's attention. And that's the part that really bothers me because, I mean, the whole thing bothers me, but initiating this trauma on this family and really all of us because you post a video like this, it's traumatizing for all of us. It is traumatizing for all of us. And so we've got to do a better job. We're our kids don't even want to go to work. They don't want to go to work. All they want to do is go viral. All they want to do is post a video and see if it can get 1 million likes, and then they're gonna get paid. And then we've sold them this whole a pipe dream about how you can be a functioning, contributing member to society. Like, you don't respect your elders, you don't respect your neighbors, you don't respect children, you don't respect mothers. So how do you feel about your own mother? You don't respect this mother that's walking with her children. How do you feel about your mother?
Oh, that's so good.
And you got to focus on her shoes, and you trying to what? Were you trying to
Mm.
embarrass her? You trying to make it seem like she's less than? What is going on in our young people's heads? What's going on in their heads? It starts at home,
Yeah.
but also it's like it's happening on social media. So at home, parents, you've got to start monitoring your kids and what your kids are watching, and you've got to start controlling the narrative of
Yeah.
how social media is playing out and how you going to go from elementary school to middle school into high school and be a contributing member to society, not going viral and getting all these likes and whoop whoop whoop, because that's what that video is giving. That's
Yeah.
giving that they wanted to go viral, and it is despicable. And yes, Aldrin is correct. Every child and every parent needs to be held accountable. And I've seen a couple of videos of the parents going on, but not everybody. Everybody needs to be held accountable, and they all need to be. I don't know what the law says,
That's
but
where I'm at. What are
what,
you? What is accountability when you look at this
right?
video and you see what was done? My thing is, a video at this point is not enough because I saw a video with one of the little girls and she was kind of snickering and laughing. It's not a funny situation because my thing is, it's just like I put it this way: my brother was murdered and we had to go through trial for the person that killed my brother. It's when you're wearing that shoe, it's a whole different feel. Sometimes you got to get to a place even in God to where you say, what is the justification here? Let me put myself in the shoes of the person that I'm trying to be justified.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I mean, you really got to watch those videos because I feel even sad for like myself and Ashlyn as teachers going in to teach these students. You don't realize what you're really getting yourself into. They'll do this to a teacher. They don't give a hoot nanny about anybody because there's no parenting going on.
Yeah. Well, and you got to realize nowadays parenting ages have really gone down. Back in the day, parents, they would at least, if you had a kindergarten, somebody in kindergarten, most times the parent was, 27, 30, whatever it is. But now you got parents who got kindergartens that's 21, 22 years old. And then, you got grandparents that's 37, 38 years old, great grandparents that's, 56, 55, you know what I'm saying? So
No wisdom, right?
change because people are now doing things that they shouldn't be doing at earlier ages, and now we got children and we got one parent households. And I tell my children all the time, they don't know how blessed they are. We're going to bring our next co-host up. I tell my children, they don't know how blessed we are that they are to be able to have grown up in a two-parent household where they just couldn't do anything and everything. Granted, I think I started late. I was 26 when DJ was born. I was in my 30s when the twins were born. So my age was a little bit different. So and because of my upbringing, my tolerance was a little bit different. So the things that other parents would tolerate or other kids in the neighborhood could get away with, my kids weren't gonna get away with that because of my upbringing and how I was raised in my neighborhood as well. So anyway, let me give a shout out to my guy Jorad Holmes out in Florida who is hanging out with us. And without further ado, let's get ready to bring up our next co-host. We got to do it. Yeah, we got another knock at the door. Take a step that is new as we keep going back into the city of Atlanta, the state of Georgia. Let's bring up, without further ado, my guy, the incredible, funny, hallelujah, morning man himself, Demetrius Hunter in the building. Demetrius, man, welcome.
What's up? Good morning, good afternoon. Y'all on pause?
No, no, no. We've given you a moment to come
Well,
in.
y'all was so deep. I didn't want to break the cycle, but good morning, everybody out there in Freedom Radio Land. That's it. We here to turn the radio up and take this topic a little higher. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Cause we gotta talk. We gotta unpack this. First of all, city of Chicago, I applaud them for stepping up. I lived in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago. Okay. Let me just explain this to you. The culture of that city ain't got nothing to do with social media, has nothing to, oh, I'm sorry, has nothing to do with the likes. That's just the culture of that city. It's very if I tell you I ain't never been to a place where they tell you certain places you don't go, you Chicago in Chicago, if they tell you don't go to this part of the town or that part of the city, you honestly don't go unless you know somebody over there. And that's just how that culture of that city is. And I knew that when literally on Facebook about 4 years ago, there was a party live in Chicago on the South Side. They were live celebrating a birthday party, and they walked in and shot the party up as people are going out. Like, we're watching this on Facebook Live now. As people are going out, trying to get out, trying to get free, there's other people, gang members, whoever on the other side shooting people as they're coming out. So now you got people shooting their way out as people are shooting at the people going out. So the culture of that city, and to see them come together like that and
Oh,
stand up for that woman and
oh,
her family, and like, no, where they at, bring them out now. That
oh.
to me meant so much. To see that, I was like, oh my God, is
Mm-hmm.
this really Chicago? I had to tap the screen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna need to also, just acknowledge that this is going to have a lasting effect on that mother and her son. Now,
Absolutely.
some of her statements have been like she hasn't been able to sleep because when she goes to sleep, she can still hear her 9-year-old son crying out to her for help,
Yeah.
and she couldn't do nothing to help her baby.
Yeah.
So that's something that's going to last with her and that child for a long, long, long time. So she probably need to lawyer up.
And I think she had
Yeah.
Probably
another
need to
child
like,
with her. I
Yeah,
think
she
she
had
had
another
another
child.
yeah,
child
Yeah.
that was
yeah,
Yeah.
against the fence watching
yeah,
this whole
Mhm.
display. So
yeah,
it's just like
yeah.
it'll be a movie coming out about it, I'm sure, soon. Tyler
Like,
Perry, somebody up. Go
that's
Right.
on,
true.
just do
Yeah.
it.
She
They,
Right.
gonna
they,
she
they
gonna
should
need a
do
lot of
something.
help for
Yeah.
long term. She gonna need
Yeah.
long term
And the
help.
child is going to need some counseling,
Yep.
because these
Yes.
are things that
Definitely.
turn children. And I don't want y'all to take this incorrectly, but these situations like this turn children into that whole defense. And then he'll become defensive to everything in life.
Mhm.
And he'll have to fight his way through everything in life. And so right now he has to be trained when to protect himself and when to know how to use his words. Because right now he's like trying to figure out, how do I protect myself from here? I'm done talking.
Yeah.
So definitely praying for him that he gets the help he needs as he's growing, to where it doesn't affect him to where it becomes a problem for him later on in life.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Now, before we move on, I saw Yolanda, you wanted to ask a particular question. So go right ahead.
So as a future mommy, man, you got to say what you want to be. So as a future mommy, and I do want to ask. Actually, almost made me cry. I want to ask Ashlyn, and in particular Demetrius, a question because they're parents. How Ashlyn gave some thought, but I know we had to go. Like, how do if you were the parent in the situation, how would you respond? Because these are other parents, right? And so I always look at the coin from the other side. If you didn't have help, sometimes people repeat cycles, behaviors, things like that. And so while we're not condoning the children's behavior, how would you respond? Because I think grace solves a lot of problems, not all, but I just how would you respond as a parent?
Yeah, I feel like I know what Detail would say. Uh, I, this is the thing. What I've learned from raising my kids, whoopings didn't really. They helped my daughter, but they didn't really help my son. My son didn't really. He was just like, well, shook it off and kept on doing what he was doing. And so for me, I had to find out what was going to hurt him the most. Is it a is it a whooping, or what's going to hurt him the most? What's he going to be mad about the most? And for him, it was cutting him off from all electronics, his games, his whatever. Now that's a small level of consequence. That's for like forgetting to take out the garbage or washing the dishes or something like that. Like if you do something major, like to me, it's a tough question. I'm glad that you're answering. I can't wait to hear Deto's answer. But how are we going to turn this around for these children? If they think that this is okay, like how do we turn that around? If you've got a child that thinks that somewhere in their mind that this is okay, is me doing to them what they did to somebody else and
Absolutely.
beating the living, I don't know, Jesus out of them? Is that going to make the difference? Um, but honestly, I don't know, Yolanda. I don't know because it's just really, really tough because our children are in some other parallel reality right now where it doesn't even make sense to me. How could you do this? How could you do this to another human being, to a mother and her children? How could you do this?
Yeah, my mom used to say, pick on people your own age, right?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I'll give it to Dito just to see because I have a feeling that he's going to talk about baseball bats and and a dungeon or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you paid attention to what we saw on social media and the people who were and the parents that were posting videos, they were all what? The mothers. Am I correct? These are all the
Uh
mothers
oh.
of these
Come
yeah,
youth.
on.
that's good right there, bro.
Where is the fathers of these children? That's kind of what I was trying to allude to a little bit earlier. Is like the fathers got to step up, and I
That's good.
this is why we have to be equally yoked before we even. This is why we're supposed to be married before.
Sleep. Right.
If we did things more like the Bible says to be, we should be married before we engage in these type of things. We need to be equally yoked, in all these type of things. Gerard Holmes puts up a great comment. He says, "What happened to the village helping to raise kids? When you see child doing something wrong, you check them and then tell the parents. Listen, I grew up in that era where people in my church, in our neighborhood, my my mama came and told my counselor that she could whoop me. What? And then told her to tell me, and I'm gonna whoop him again. And then when he get home, I'm gonna tell his dad he's gonna get a whooping again. Let me tell you something. Y'all may say that y'all people might think that theory is old school and that it doesn't work. I'm here to tell you, if those was my children that would have did something like that when they got home, I'm telling you, it would have been some furniture moving when they got home. It,
Eesh, I got about
there'd have been some furniture moving. And I've told all of my kids, and any of them can attest to this. I said, you want to play the hitting game? Come on, come play it with me. Come play the hitting game with me, and I'm gonna let you go first. None of them have ever taken me up on that challenge. I said, you think you big and bad? Come be big and bad with me. Let's play the hitting game. Start with me. You go first. And I promise you, after you hit me, I'm gonna slap the taste out of your mouth.
Eee.
And I promise you, I am very, very stern with my children when it comes to things of this nature, and they know. And anybody who knows DJ know, and Alea and Ariana down, Alea can get mouthy, but she ain't gonna come and get mouthy and talk crazy to me. He may do it to her sister and all these other people, but she ain't gonna do it to me. And I think
That's
you got
good.
to put that type of fear into your children. My children would never do nothing
You
like that.
have to. Yep. You have
But
to.
you done said a whole word. Where are the
We're
fathers?
the fathers. That's
Where
the
are the
that's the
fathers?
that's the main that's the main focus point of the fathers. And where is the male presence, period,
In
in their
general.
lives? And see, what's happening is one thing I've learned when raising up Melvin Dana with I remember one time he got called to school. They had told me that he didn't do anything, so I wanted to speak to the teacher without him in the room in case I got a little sideways. Because what I learned was him watching me talk to her in any way outside of how I was feeling would have given him that go light to respond to that teacher as well.
That's good.
Mhm.
And so I said, okay. I said, Erica, take him out. Let me just talk to the teacher. Because it was some things that, he did something, but it was also the way she handled it that I didn't like as well. And so we have to be mindful of what we allow our kids to see us doing. And we talk so much about charity starts at home. Home
Mhm.
is not only when you close the door, but home is anytime we're in the car, we're in the grocery store, we're in church. Anytime you with me, we're in the presence of home. And so what you're seeing me doing, I don't never want you to think that that's okay. What I do is okay for me to do. I know how to get me out of this, but it's not okay for you to do. And that's a lot of the problems as well. Because we have, like Dito said earlier, we got grandmothers that are now 30 years old, great grandmother 50. We have all these younger generations becoming elders, and they probably just learned how to pay a good bill. Probably just got their first learned how to pay rent for the first time, and you are already a grandma. Like, come on, make it make sense. You
Yes.
got parents, you got kids now growing up where the uncle and the auntie the same age as the niece and the nephew. And it's okay. Like that's become the new thing now. But that's not okay because where's it teaching them that old school teaching, that old school down home village teaching? We don't have the villages no more, Dito. We have the block now.
Yeah.
The block is raising your kids.
Yeah.
It's
No,
no longer the village.
And then the flip to the block is a lot of the village is scared. They scared because if they say something to your child, it's going to be a different kind of fight. And I honestly fear there's no fear of death in the world today either. Everybody thinks they battery powered, and I get there's an afterlife. I'm not there yet, and I believe in all of that. But my thing is, there's no fear of right or wrong because the thing is, at the end, even with voting, they're gonna keep voting until they make right wrong.
yeah.
It's just a crazy time, and I'm
It
just
is
like,
crazy.
ooh, I'm glad I ain't in school right now because I wouldn't make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's definitely a crazy time, a time where I'm glad that I was raised in the time and when I was. But again, will I think of my friend Bishop Melvin Scott, who preached a message many years ago and kind of went viral. Will the real men stand up? And in this instance, in this instance with these children, in the raising of these children, we need to find out where that father is. And if it's not the father, grandfather. If it's not the grandfather, the uncle. If it's not the uncle, somebody in that neighborhood, some male figure needs to be stepping in to help rear these children in the right way. I think if there's a man, father figure in these children's lives that was pumping the fear of them and God in them, I think we'd see a bit difference in the way things are going. Anyway, we're going to keep things going. Shout out to my guy, James Pugh in the building, who said he just jumped in. Shout out to Rhonda Jones, who's in the building, Adrian Johnson, all who have been chiming in as well. All right, y'all, before we go, we got three things we're going to do very quickly. We mentioned a little bit about December, that it's going to be a December to remember. It's still going to be a December to remember because on Friday, December the 12th, my bro, Marcus McCauley, is having his holiday at the Temple event. It is going to be at the Henry J. Kaiser Center for the Arts. You can see the QR code on the screen to purchase your tickets. They are available. It's going to be a great event. Many, many great Bay Area artists, including our own Ashlyn Cole, that will be a part, as well as the incredible Dorinda Clark Cole will be in the building. Last but not least, as we mentioned, the December to remember, let me just throw this out there for free. Let me take 30 seconds and tell you this right here. That is right. On Sunday, December the 14th, coming to the Bay Area will be, of course, we'll have Joe Douglas, but the Glad Tidings International Mass Choir, we're doing our music conference concert. Bay Area artist will be Joe Douglas, and then we will have the incredible J.J. Hairston. Tickets are available. You can simply scan this QR code, simply scan the QR code, and you can use the discount code Shop Talk, all as one word. Scan the QR
Mighty
code.
God.
Use the discount code Shop Talk to get $5 off of
I was
your.
just gonna ask how much I get off my ticket,
You get $5 off of your ticket.
and how much is the original ticket?
$20. So you get a ticket for $15.
Y'all giving them $5 off a $20 ticket?
I am
Bay
doing it.
Area, y'all got to do better. I see why y'all don't come to Atlanta because they don't play that out here, and they pack it out.
Yeah,
They ain't giving you no discount.
yeah.
Hey, how you doing, friend? See you there. You got your ticket? Yeah, they don't.
I'm
Let me
doing
tell you,
of listeners. Well, all of
I
our
don't understand Bay Area. I don't understand.
we're different.
They got to give y'all a discount to get y'all in the building.
Well,
Come on,
I'm doing this for my Shop Talk friends. So those of you who may want to participate, again, the QR
yeah.
code is on the screen, and just simply scan the code. Scan the QR code, and then you can use the promo code
You know
Shop.
what?
All as one word.
I got 2 tickets. I'm about detail. I'm a cash app. Who wanna go? I did the first person in the comment section say I want to go. I don't need you saying you wish you could go, want to go. Who want to go to support Detour at the choir celebration?
He got loud in there. They're like, "What are you doing? We supposed to
Tell
be?"
them it was the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost.
Yeah. It does the eat kind of shit. Girl, I'm live on the show. Get out of here. Anyway, yeah, I hear you, Demetrius. So Demetrius is
So
saying,
I got a pair of tickets I'm gonna give away. Who wanna
okay,
go? Who
There you
that
go,
is?
Josh
Josh
Farr.
is saying that he wants to go. Josh
All
Farr.
right, Josh Pierre. I'm gonna send Detour this $40. Where my other phone at?
Yes, let me
Give
tell
me
you.
Wait a
one
minute,
second.
but
Let me
he
go
said
to my other office.
but Josh said he's gonna buy tickets. So let's extend it to somebody who maybe doesn't have that $20 to pay for
We
a
got
ticket.
Rhonda Jones, who further chimes in and says me. So
Okay.
maybe
Oh,
he'll be the one that will be the winner of those tickets. But Josh said he's going to buy tickets. I appreciate you, Josh. Josh was playing drums for us this past Sunday. Listen, we're almost out of time, but let me just mention this. I know we're not going to have time to get into it, but
woo.
My
Yolanda
God.
Adams is, well,
Ooh,
Yolanda Adams. So I'm sure many of you saw
Mm.
on social media about the interview that she did. Let me give you an overview in brevity. Controversy erupts as gospel legend Yolanda Adams is under fire for suggesting God might not be a he.
And she should be.
And she says in a recent interview, the Open My Heart singer says believers are limiting God by calling him, Father, or He. She further says, I don't think that God is this small entity that people are trying to make him or her or to be. She says, we say he because that's how we grew up, Adam said. She further went on to argue that God is a God of variety and diversity. Many fans are outraged, calling this unbiblical and a denial of God's nature as Father. Where do you stand? Is Yolanda Adams spreading heresy or biblical truth? Interesting,
Ooh.
interesting thing. Yeah,
Father, I
I will
stretch
just
my.
go here, and I'll make this as quick as possible because we only got a couple minutes left. Here's what I'm going to say. And I don't know Yolanda Adams like that. I know who she is. Obviously, we've crossed paths a few times, but I would tell you this: that the Bible says in the last days that these type of things would happen. And I'm not mad at Yolanda Adams. She's just apparently falling into the category of what will happen in the last days. That men would become lovers of themselves, and the truths that they know to be true they would say it's not true. All these type of things. But my whole thing is, if God is not a he, then who was Jesus praying to in the Garden of Gethsemane?
Speak.
Who was he saying in those last 7 words that he talks about? Father, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Who would he be talking to? If God is not a he, then, well, you know what? That could go a whole lot of different ways.
Ooh, it
But
sure can.
I,
You
I,
know
I
that you know they'll argue you down too, Detour. They'll be like, well, the Bible was one of the most rewritten. That's their favorite line. Anytime you try to go against what they think the scripture is saying.
yeah, yeah. I hear you. I'm not mad at it. We just don't have time to discuss it any further. Listen,
Oh
looking up,
Jesus.
y'all. We're not out of conversation. As you all know, we're never out of conversation, but we're just merely out of time. But before we go, Demetrius, I'll start with you, man. Any closing comments, final thoughts, and don't forget to send me that cash app. Go right ahead.
I got you on that cash app. I'm gonna send that over to you. Yolanda Adams, keep riding through the storm because you're gonna figure it out. God bless y'all. Good night.
You know what? I can't. Anyway, Yolanda Moran. Any closing comments? Final thoughts. You know what? He's hilarious. You're on mute. You're muted.
I'm sorry. People get to different spaces and places for a lot of reasons. So the Yolanda Adams part. Grace be unto you, Diva. And
Yeah.
yeah, we praying because we don't know how she got there, but let's not go around canceling people though. Okay, let's
Oh
be
yeah,
real.
never. Not at all. Not at
Not
all.
us, yeah,
We
not us, yeah.
No, we don't want to cancel. I just need her to keep riding through the storm. Come
Yeah,
on.
that was hilarious. Anyway, Ja'Cory Proto, man, out in Atlanta today, man. Any closing comments, man? Final thoughts.
I'm gonna say, Yolanda Adams, I love you, but I need you to explain yourself. Yolanda Adams and Eve, come on through. We need to hear you. Where's Oprah? Come on, Larry Reed. I need to hear what's going on. Amen.
Last but not least, Ashlyn Cole. Any closing comments? Final thoughts.
Oh my God. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth earth as it is in heaven.
I'm not mad at it. Give us this day, oh, our day, daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Go ahead, Ja'Cory.
I think the
You
show is
Corey.
Uh,
over.
uh, uh, I'm gonna let
High
that.
forever.
Yes,
Ah, ah,
watch it.
ah,
Watch
Bye-bye.
it. Until the next time on this same
We
Shotgun
love
Network
you.
in time,
Mighty God.
we do. I'll holla.